Right guys, today I am on the Isle of Skye in Scotland, but more specifically than that, I'm at Loch Coruisk, which is somewhere I've wanted to come for many years, and I've never quite made the trip until now. You have to get a boat here from the little village of Elgall, and it's only like a short boat trip, but it's a fairly remote place. It's really difficult to get here on foot, especially with enough gear and food for a whole week of climbing. So we got the boat over, and on the ferry over, honestly, there's just so much rock here, it's ridiculous. Me and Guy had literally our chins hitting the floor because I think there's just so much potential here for first ascenting. So what's on the agenda for this week? Well, I think firstly, we want to go and tick off some of the classics. And in that list, there is the classic Skye Wall. It's an E7/8 of Dave Birkett. It's an ultra classic on the sort of hard Scottish rock climb list. After that, I think we're desperate just to go hunting for first ascents. As I said before, there's tons of potential here, and having just arrived on the mainland, looking up at all the rock that's surrounding us, it's just like gobsmacking, and we're already seeing lines we want to do. So I'm itching to get cracking on, and I'm sure you're psyched to see this too. So let's not waste any more time and let's go climbing. So the guidebook said an hour and 15 for the walk-in. Absolutely no way. That's complete horseshit. It was definitely took us at least 2 hours to get here. There's definitely like a very vague path to get here as well. But we're finally here, and man, energy levels are super high. There's only like a few lines on this whole wall. Definitely looks like there's scope for more, so I'm definitely going to check out that later. Yeah, Skye Wall kind of goes up this, I think it goes up this sort of like vein here onto this little ledge, and then straight up this amazing wall going all the way up to the top. It looks mega, but it's very intimidating. Like looking at the rock face, you can't really tell where the gear placement is. It's very dark rock. You can't tell really where the holds are. It looks very featureless. I mean, you can see like bands and veins of like different types of rock kind of flowing through, but it's really difficult to tell like if they're handholds or if there's any gear in there or not. It's actually a type of rock called gabbro, which I think is one of the oldest types of rock in the world, and it's super grippy. It's like a Velcro on your hands when you grab it. I think my first objective today is to get around the top, throw a massive static rope down, and just kind of abseil, have a look at it, check out the gear, maybe have a bit of a play on the moves, just kind of get my bearings before deciding whether or not I want to do any climbing on it. But yeah, psych is high, and I'm ready to go.
You know where you're going?
I've got no idea.
Neither do I.
Classic.
You didn't have the guidebook either, eh?
You didn't bring the guidebook?
No, did you?
No? Oh my god. I'm pretty sure it'll all make sense when we get up there.
Extra adventure for you, Robbie.
Yeah. I don't use guidebooks anyway. Guidebooks are pussies. Okay, I'm kind of lost. So I'm looking for the anchor, or the belay, to abseil down the line, which I think is somewhere down there. This wall is so much bigger than it's so much bigger than you kind of expect. And it's hard to know where the line goes and where the belay is. So I think I went too high, so I've actually just come from up there, climbed down, and some gear here potentially could go down there. I guess I'll just try and go down there and see what happens. Ah, turns out that I've gone the wrong way. The route's 30 meters that way, and I'm not even on the top of the wall. Ah, okay, second time lucky. Let's try this. Yeah, I think this is it for sure. I remember talking about the lake that was hollow. Okay. And there being like a little bit of like a spicy bit. This looks like it could be it. I got bloody lost up there. I was like trying to find how to get down. It's like a bloody maze. Everything looks exactly the same. It's all black rock. It's all like looks exactly the same from the top down. So I had no idea where I was going. So I went down the wrong way the first time. Man, I had to go back up, pull like 100 meter static up there with me, then move it 30 meters across, trying to find a belay to come down. I was trying to get as low as possible, so I can get the rope down, and eventually I found it. I've got the rope up and sorted now, so.
How's the rock quality?
It was good. I mean, like, there was sections of like quite loose rock, like flakes and things. If it's solid, you know? It was like really good and it's sticky, like, I had no chalk up there, and it was just like, it felt grippy as anything. But there are definitely a few flakes and things that, yeah, a bit sketch. Probably should be alright. Yeah, so literally, the second we arrived here and got to the bothy, there was one thing I noticed. This cliff. There's something about it. It just looks like really clean, really good rock. It reminds me a little bit of a route called Ethiopia in Arapiles, Australia, which is a completely different rock type, but it just looks kind of similar. I've done that, so I'm hoping that this will be similar. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be similar, but it looks similar. So I'm going to go throw a rope down it and check it out, see if there's any holes in it. Let's find out. I'm flipping psyched with this thing. Just as I said, it looked like something out of Arapiles. That's basically what it is. The rock is like obviously super grippy because it's this gabbro, but it's kind of formed slightly different to this sort of like orangey, yellowy texture, which is kind of what I mean when it looks like climbing in Arapiles. It's basically breaks down into not so hard section going up there, traversing along this ledge, and then this really bouldery section coming straight up here. You're going to do some kind of bold climbing on some not desperate but definitely not easy climbing, and then you place a C3, the 00, so not the best piece of gear. No! No! Fuck! Oh! No! No! And then you got to do the hardest moves, just protected by that one C3, which is pretty flippin' nails. And then just top out, get a good bomber cam, and then just top out along this section here. Okay, I'm standing on the ledge now at the start of the hard section, and I have actually found loads of gear. Well, loads of gear, but none of it's like amazing, but they're all kind of like okay wires. There's lots of them basically. So you have tick marked all the little wires. At the moment, all my wires are up at Skye Wall, but yeah, I've just kind of put all the places where I think they'll fit. I've got one wire actually that I've been testing them with, so they seem to get in there. Anyway, loads of little bits of gear there. The problem is that this is like the ledge, so you just hope that you fall off, you're gonna hit this ledge. I kind of think that it's steep enough that you probably won't, and this gear is gonna hold you from like going further down. So that's the positive. I need to check if there's any gear in this seam thing going up. It looks good in the camera, but it's very shallow basically from here, and it'll be quite hard to place as well when you're leading. So today is supposed to be our go day. This is the day we're going to go for the lead, but it's freaking boiling. There's like hardly any wind, the sun's out, you know, I'm definitely getting burned a little bit here. It doesn't feel like we're in Scotland at all actually. This guy said earlier, it feels like we're in flipping South America or something like that. But yeah, I think we're going to go later on when the clouds come in, or maybe when the sun kind of leaves. As you can see in the background there, Guy is having one last sort of check out of the gear, one last reminder of the moves before we go for it. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident, pretty psyched that I can do this. I just don't really want to do it in the bloody heat because my skin can't handle this gabbro plus super hot sun. Not a good combination. So for sure, the crux of this route, the challenging part, is the bold nature of the climbing. It's quite scary in places. This is the top of the crux. It's a huge run out. The fall's pretty clean, so I mean, you're not going to hit the ground, you're just going to go for a wee fly. So I think to all intents and purposes it is safe, just pretty scary. And the climb is quite technical and yeah, just engaging. So that's why it gets the high E grade. The last bit of gear from here is all the way down there, that little yellow one there. gonna back it out with another cam beside it. It's a long way down. There's also some potential wires in here behind this flake. But listen to this. I can actually feel it vibrating against my foot when I do that. So yeah, this is the smallest hole on the route. You can see how small it is. It's probably, I don't know. It's very small. 8mm, something like that. And this one is the second smallest, a bit bigger, about 10mm. Wee thumb catch there. So it's feeling like the conditions are changing. The clouds have come over, the sun's gone, the wind's picked up. Like, this is the conditions we want. And Guy's still on the wall, figuring out the gear, and he's figured out some good stuff. Guy is a self-professed master of figuring out gear placements. He says so because, in his own words, he's weak as fuck. So he needs to figure out the best gear placements, otherwise he doesn't have the confidence to climb the route. And one of the gear placements is a sky hook. Pretty cool little piece of gear. I've placed a sky hook several times before. I've never taken a fall onto them, but he's found this little edge, and I checked it myself, and it actually seems freaking bomber. It just hooks over a little edge like that. You sort of like pull it down until it sort of sits nicely, and then you just leave it and hope that if you fall off, it takes your body weight, or the flake that it's attached to doesn't break off. But in this circumstance, I think it will. So that's another bit of gear protecting the crux. So yeah, should feel pretty confident for this next lead go. Okay, so there's like a really good wind right now. The wall looks completely dry, from this angle at least. And yeah, I'm feeling like the conditions are good now, so I'm going to go have a shot. Also, we play at first. Figure out the sequence. And just see if I can get it dialed before Guy and Michael get back, because I'd really like to leave this before we head in the boat tomorrow morning. So it's going to be touch or go, really, if I can figure all the bait out in such a short time, but got to be in it to win it, so I'm going to give it a shot, see how it goes. So it's funny how quickly things go from being like super rainy to super windy and dry to super hot. This morning everything was soaking wet, and then things got super windy and cool. The conditions were great, and I was psyched to get on this proj. And then as soon as I started climbing the proj, the sun came out and I got some good burns in it. Cleaned that crux section, which I'm really happy about, means I can do it. But this is like impossible to send now. Like, it's way too hot. The sun's in full blast on it. I mean, it's basically just gone from being like winter cold flipping rain to like tropical sun. To do this trip, like the skin's just like super thin now. The conditions would need to like change dramatically very quickly.
20 minutes later.
So it wouldn't be a climbing to Scotland if when you're trying to leave, it's absolutely pissing it down, the weather's gone absolutely shite, and it's blowing a hoolie. But hey, I've had a flipping amazing time. Managed to do Skye Wall, which has been on my bucket list for a long time. Got to hunt and explore for new first ascents, and I've got plenty to come back for. So I'm a happy bunny. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed what you see, why not give a subscribe? And of course, ding that wee bell for notifications when the next video is out. Yeah, I'm gonna go catch my ferry now. It's gonna be exciting riding this. Catch us there. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video. First up, a little bit of housekeeping. Massive thanks to Michael Cassidy for helping shoot the video, and a huge congratulations to Guy Robertson, who also sent Skye Wall. If you guys are interested, why not sign up to the Patreon account? It keeps this channel alive. Thanks so much for all your support, guys. Peace out.